Are you ready for some tea? I got this week's tea for you. The question of today is, are solar panels worth it? Coming from a realtor, there's definitely some things that we need to talk about before we put solar panels on your roof. Like, what's the cost? What are we really paying for these solar panels? Are we buying them? Are we leasing them? And what does that lease entail? Can we be transferred to a new buyer? Can we pay it out? Do we have to pay it out? Is there a minimum time that we have to have those solar panels on our home before we can buy it out? All of those things are things that you need to look at in that contract before you sign it. Next is, are your buyers, if you need to go to sell, going to take over that payment if need be? Do they even want to? It's a big question, and it can make your pool of buyers a lot smaller on your home. Next is that solar panels don't necessarily add dollar for dollar value to your home. While you're paying $30,000 to $40,000 to put those solar panels on, you may not get that in return. In fact, you're probably getting a very small portion of it. Like I said, there are a handful of buyers that are very interested in that, but that handful compared to the hundreds of people that might be interested in your home can definitely reduce that sell price and not add value to your home. The third thing is we need to think about that roof that we're putting them on. Is there a chance that it should be replaced before? Do you have 20 years left on that roof before it needs to be changed? Because if you do have solar panels attached, those solar panels have to come off to get the roof replaced or repaired. Also, if there's a storm that comes through, those solar panels have to come off to get that roof repaired or replaced. So if there's anything that can hold that back, it's going to do so. So we need to make sure that that is taken care of, and remember that that's an additional cost and additional coordination when we have someone coming out to do those repairs or replacement on that roof. Now, am I saying solar panels are bad? Absolutely not. If you have a plan and you are planning to stay in your home for the long term, they can be very good for your home, and they can lessen your electric bill immensely. But so life happens, things change. So we need to make sure that we're really reviewing that contract, making sure there's a plan, a backup plan if you need to get out of that home, if you need to sell that home, if your roof needs to be replaced. All of those things need to be laid out for you so that there is a clear path in which you have to take if those situations arise. I had a seller who had taken over a home from his family. They had planned to live in it forever. It was his childhood home. He did a lot of repairs in it, updating, put solar panels on the roof. Less than 6 months after those solar panels went on, he had the job opportunity of a lifetime. This job he could not turn down, and it was 2 hours away. So he was left to sell that home. We had to go through the process of making sure that the buyers were even eligible to take over that lease of their solar panels, because there's another credit check which your buyers may not be prepared for or want to have, especially when they're going through the home buying process, right? We want to limit those credit checks for our buyers. So we had to go through all those jumps and hurdles, and it could have even delayed our closing if those things didn't happen, or canceled our closing altogether if those buyers weren't able to assume that lease. So there is definitely a lot of things to take in consideration before we put those solar panels on our home. So if you're thinking about it, feel free to reach out to me and we can sit down with that contract and see exactly what it means to you and what it would mean in the process if you have to sell that home or do any work on your home while those solar panels are installed.